G'day everybody, it's Neil here, and welcome back to Mordheim City of the Damned, Early Access version 0.18.4.2. It's been a long time since we got an update, a content update. We've had a patch, we've had a very small patch, added a couple of small things, but the last time we got an update, we got an entire new warband. This time, the devs have been a little bit behind, but they've delivered this time with a very, very large patch, which adds about 15 gigabytes of content to the game, and most of it is new appearances for everybody. We're talking about possessed mutants. Possessed at rank 10 have random mutations now rocking around, which just is going to be fantastic. Armor for everybody. Holy shit, there's armor for everyone. Everything looks different. Actually, let's just jump straight into it. We're going to my Wolves of Waldenstein, which I've set up. Rank 10, by the way, is for testing in early access, so when you create a new warband, you have the option of switching between rank 1 and rank 10. 10 gives you absolutely everything that you will ever get. Rank 1 is obviously starting from scratch. So this is the warband management screen. It looks pretty familiar. You might notice that people kinda look different now. It's not just copy-paste along the back, and yes, I do have a lot of hunting rifles in my warband. So let's open up our leader. He looks a bit different now at the moment. You can see we're running all rank 10 weapons, which have a lot of damage buffs. And this is a new feature as well, being able to check out the nice chaps my leader is rocking. And as you can see, the armor changes. Fabulous. Holy shit, this is so nice. It's so fun. So the cloth overall has been upgraded, so the appearance and the I suppose how it works in game, how it hangs off the characters and that sort of thing. So say the patch notes. I've yet to actually see it in action. I spend most of my time worrying about how hard I'm hitting. So not only this, but we have a secondary menu. You might have noticed next to the old coming soon badge, we have enchanting. Some items get enchants. I'm currently got the Rune of Celerity, which increases my initiative on my captain by 20 points. And this is the maximum level. There are several different ranks of enchanting you can use. So, if we go to the enchanting menu here, item is already enchanted. Well, fine, great. So, we'll just we'll try and reset this by giving... See, we have to lose our fabulous hat to give him a helmet, but at least it looks different now. So, let's open the enchanting menu. Look at all of these. Amazing. Look at all of these. Now, armor and weapons have two different sets of enchants, so we will jump over to a weapon enchant in a minute. So, you can see there's the junior version, the quality normal, quality masterwork. That's how it's gonna work. Possibly there are ranks in between. I haven't read anything about that yet. I haven't found out anything about that yet, but probably that makes sense. So you can see they're all free because there's no cash still in the game. However, let's just bang on an enchantment. And we're doing fabulously there. Oh, look, we got an armor enchant too. So, oh look, I'll just put an agility. Who cares? There we go. Can't have too many enchants, that's what I always say. So let's jump over to Dazgrut. And he's looking pretty fab as usual. Now, we've had a look, quick, very, very, very quick look at the armor enchants. I mean, they're basically what you would expect from armor enchants. They're oh, here we go. Enchanting. So we're talking increases to non-combat things, I suppose. So like climbing, running, casting, all alone tests. There's a poison resist one, a dodge chance. That's that sort of thing. So basically non-combat focused. So I don't remember what I had on him. Oh, it's in the... Oh, there we go. Fantastic. So the weapon ones are fucking great. They're great. Look at them. They're brutal. Can I give him something chump-like, just so I can actually show it? Okay. Let's go to enchanting for a sec. Divine Wrath, Rune of Carnage. Increased damage for critical hits on this guy. Can you imagine that? That's insane. That's great. This is going to be so much fun. So I'm just going to switch back to the maces. Because, like I said, each thing can have one rune, one enchant. But I mean, we want two maces of perforation, which both give us 10% bypass armor on each of them, so that's 20%. we're looking at there, which is that's just crazy. So at the back here, let's just have a quick look at what we're looking at for the Mordheimers here, the human warband. Helmet, light armor, yeah, nice little combination there. But I mean, this is all appearances only, of course. On top of the stats, they work exactly the same way. Well, except for the stat changes, they work exactly the same as before. So that is amazing. That is freaking great. So let's jump through into a skirmish. So this is the lobby. There is now chat here, apparently. Although I don't have any, friends. So we will talk about the actual changes in game before we talk about the other stuff that comes next. So, general changes in the game. Each unit rank increases wounds by 15 points now, which is 5 up from before. So, if you think it was hard to kill people before, it's a little bit harder to kill them now. However, toughness is 2% of poison resist instead of 4, so it's gone down a little bit, which makes Skaven just that little bit better. I guess they were gimped. It wasn't enough that they ran over the top of you. Now they can poison you a little bit better than before. Alertness is a little bit worse than before, but look, I don't really know. I personally never really cared about perception too much. I just copped traps and all that sort of thing. Accuracy now gives 2% of damage on crit, which is quite nice. Well, plus 2% of damage to crit, which is quite nice. Intel provides magic resist. This is pretty good because it also keeps your wizard safe from other wizards. And I suppose, I mean, ogres are now going to be susceptible, and well, impressive units in general are usually pretty stupid, so they're going to be just as shitty. Now they're going to stay just as shitty as before, whereas normal units will gain magic resistance as they level up. Leadership gives 2% to all alone fear, terror, psychology tests, I suppose, in general. Outside of stupidity, actually. So just sort of outward terrifying psychology tests. Base crit has been dropped back down. However, I think that's kind of okay, because accuracy now gives you 2% of damage on crit. So that's where they're going to get that balance. The base is reduced, but there's a scale overall that sort of makes up the difference there. Spell Mastery. Now this sounds weird. Spell Mastery increases the chances of getting cursed by Tzeentch. Now I see why. I kind of agree and I see why. As you dabble in like more dangerous spells, it makes sense that Tzeentch is going to kick your ass a little bit harder than before. So of course, now there's enchants and there's more passive abilities and things like that, which are going to balance that out, like I said. Weeping Blades and Fighting Claws, they used to actually incorrectly give you a tiring buff. And when we're talking about like Skaven are designed for Fighting Claws and Weeping Blades, so this just fixes it up, so they get a dual wield buff now. Spellcasters now, after casting, they get a plus 10% chance to get cursed. So, this, I guess we can kind of call this the magic update, if anything, because there are a shitload of skills and spells that have been changed and modified for this, as well as an overall change in the way spells work. I mean, you basically get hurt more often by Tzeentch. He really doesn't like you. The OP for impressive units is now 9, which is down by 1, which can limit the number of times you attack, which is really important. Range for some ranged weapons have been changed. You'll be able to see what they are. -2 movement, so -2 meters movement per strategy point across the board for everybody. This was buffed last patch or 2 patches ago, and it's been brought back down because by rank 10 you're pretty much running across the map, and it's getting a little bit crazy. All buffs and debuffs have types of what they are. How this affects us in the future game, we're yet to find out, but they're now categorized, which, cool. Charge and ambush has been adjusted. Ambush is now picked up a little bit more often. Thank you. I felt this was kind of, sometimes I felt there was no point in going on ambush because I would get charged anyway. So we'll see how this really works. And the warp effect is now a percentage value and not just a hard value. So those are the general changes, mostly small balance changes. Now, the stat advancements points, you'll see them come up in a second. There are so many of them. So many of them. Basically, it's the number of points you get to spend on a hero as you level up. These have just been balanced out. For whatever reason, there were balance changes. I never noticed what they were, but this is the developers obviously doing number crunching and obviously keeping up with the demands of the game. So, tip top. And there are so many spell changes. There are so many spell changes, I can't even go over how many there are. Some are new, some are balanced, some are nerfed. Magic got nerfed, in fact, quite a bit. Probably because it was increased somewhere else along the board. So, you can read these on screen, you can take your time, pause it. There'll be a link to the forum post in the description below, which actually takes you to the full patch notes, which is just incredible. Anyway, so, let's have a quick look, actually. We'll go back to camp, we'll go to management. I did not go over some skills, because I said there were absolutely heaps of skills here. Now, these came out a couple of patches ago, but with rank 10, you're able to assign a whole bunch of passive skills to your units, and active skills if you have them. Obviously, the heroes are the ones that are going to get them, not the schlubs. So, basically, like Mordheim tabletop. They're all in different categories here. What can they possibly be? Also, there's a respec button, which basically resets your current character, and this is only in early access, so you can test. So, basically, we're given categories of skills of what we can do. So, for example, Frenzy. You enter a Frenzy state that increases damage dealt by 15%, etc., etc. With a cost, a requirement, all of that sort of thing. You can see learning time in days, which is going to obviously play a big part of the game when it comes out. So these are all for testing, and that's why they've been made completely available to us. So some of these are still not completely available for whatever reason. I mean, obviously stat requirements end this because skills aren't finished. But those are the reasons. So let's jump into a skirmish game. Let's create a game. So, private game, public, offline. Offline game, thank you very much. Which is a new game mode added. It's only slightly different to private game. So opponent is automatically the CPU. And for us, we're automatically playing the Griffin Claws. We have almost double the Warband rating because we are rank 10. The AI, and this is a known issue, the AI is notoriously crap at rank 10. So just take note. If you want a real challenge, play online. I'll leave a link to a very good Steam group in the description below as well. They're playing all the time games of Mordheim. Okay, so backtracking is a feature that's been added as well. I'm not a huge fan of backtracking, but you can turn it off, so you can't complain about that really. There are 2 new maps in the game. One of them, last patch there were also 2 new maps in the game. This one, there's a new procedural map, so it's generated per game. And the other one is a static map, the statue of Count Gotthard. I don't know what it is, I assume we're fighting around a statue, so we'll check that one out. Obviously all the winning conditions are the same as before. Let's see, the quayside, where's our statue of Count Gotthard? I'm sure it's around here somewhere. Oh look, he's looking fab there on the back of the horse, how can we say no to that? So, just a couple of last things here. What we got here? Objectives. Oh look, there's a new deployment mode called Umbrella. Well, I mean, that's the code name for the deployment mode. So I think that's all for now. We are gonna have a quick mission to try and cover some of the stuff that we've just done, but this is basically all you can find in Mordheim City of the Damned update 18.4.2. So here we are, quick load. Statue of Count Gotthard as we wait. So, I'm actually noticing a bit of a performance boost from before. These are always things that happen in the background for these content updates. There are always small improvements for speed and that sort of thing, so here we go, let's have a look at this map. So basically, central, you can see a central motif here, the statue with apparently rats. It's looking pretty cool. Looks like it's arena-esque, so we'll see how we go with this. Now there is an action log There we go, up to there. Unknown is starting his turn, Unknown is ending his turn. People were really requesting there's a little bit more transparency. Oh look, and now I've stepped on a trap. Requesting a little bit more transparency in how the game is calculating whatever it's calculating. And here we have it, which is it should work out really well. So of course, as before, there's always looting. If we see loot, we'll probably have to ignore it because it doesn't help us. It's not in our battleground objectives, like this weird stone on the ground just here. But I'm pretty keen to see what this statue is going to do for us. And of course I'm going to hit Overwatch stance because I'm still rocking the pistols as the captain. Right. Leonard von Heitzer is ending his turn. It is actually logging absolutely everything we're doing. Now this is obviously way more important when you start swinging hammers at people. And then there's resist checks, toughness checks, hit checks, crit checks, everything. Which should be able to, it'll allow people to max and min like they couldn't really before. So, also I forgot to mention earlier while we're on the main screen, key mapping is now a complete possibility. You don't have to rely on Unity's crappy little key mapper. It's actually in-game, and it's actually good. And if you have a controller, you can map your controller as well, including inversion of camera controls with for your stick, and that sort of thing. It's much better. It's much better, I gotta say. I was really disappointed that it wasn't in there in the early release, but better late than never, and better in the gigantic patch than not at all. So I'm quite happy with it. So as I was saying, there's a new deployment type called Umbrella that I couldn't find in the list, but it is a automatic deployment type which puts all of your units as far away as possible from all of your opponent's units. People wanted this for some reason, and now they have it. So, variety is the spice of life. Okay. Variety is the spice of life. And in Mordheim. Alright, this was a mistake. We gotta get out of here. So, I mean, I could backtrack here, but I don't really believe in it, so let's just head out to the arena. So we can get our asses kicked. Are we actually looking at something? Look, we got some views through the window for the Overwatch. That should be alright. That should be alright. So, also what they have is Steam Cloud Sync. So all of your save games, all of your progress will be saved to the Steam Cloud should you enable it yourself. This is obviously less important at the moment because we're still in the testing phase and you could just create warbands willy-nilly. Only 4 warbands admittedly, which is quite a strange restriction. However, there are pushes to increase this, we shall see. But the Steam Cloud Sync, like I said, will obviously become important once progression kicks in. Because progression is somewhat permanent. If you've actually played tabletop, you know that it's also heartbreaking. So let us play. Let us move into position. We want to see how these stat changes are going to affect us. I think accuracy for weapons as well. Ranged weapons. Ranged weapons are also a little bit better overall in this game. And I have a couple of abilities that, well, there is a skill that allows you to debuff an enemy against ranged attacks. Oh, bloody hell. See, this is why you need perception. This is why you need perception. Alright, roll trap resistance fail. 23, target 0. There we go. Combat focus is one of my abilities. This is my hero, obviously. It's very slow. So we gotta get him downstairs. We gotta get him into the arena as fast as possible. And what better way than to jump down suicidally? Alright, round 2. Against the lovely ladies of Sigmar. Now, like I said, I'm not expecting much of a fight because at rank 10, the AI is not very good. I just want to see what this map is going to offer us, and if we can get a couple of big swings in and really start clobbering people with these new stat changes. My friend, what's that, Gazrock? Whatever, Gazbutt? The ogre. Oh, here we go. Miss, of course. The ogre's got a pretty good crit as it is, so I'm curious to see just how much damage this guy can start doing. Okay, I'm gonna get real close to this statue because this looks dangerous. He's looking pretty boss too. We got matching hats. I can shoot, alright. Gisela Kolb. 27 sweet damage. Alright, so what I'm gonna do also is switch weapons. I do believe I have an ability that allows me to... Okay, let's see, what do we got here? We got... the middle mouse click now does that, okay, so... Disorienting Veil, great. I'm actually just gonna throw on Ambush Stance stupidly here, just to see how it's being affected by the patch, because it said it triggers more often now. Although I would expect that it doesn't trigger there, because I'm still in wild view of everybody. Nice, straight through the door, straight through everything. The cloth admittedly does look much better. It's kind of hanging real weird in his legs here. But I mean, he's also very shiny head. That's what Mordheim will do to you, kids. Stay clean. The cloth looks much better, but it is hanging a little bit weird. But I mean, that's fine. That's probably fine. Lightning Strike. We got a potential Zinch curse at 25% now, and it was 10 on rank 1. So, let's see how we go here. Sweet 20 damage, and no curse. Great. We can go for another Lightning Strike, but now it's 35%. So, your spellcasters are gonna become... Damn it! Etheric Attack applied to Peter Heinze. They're gonna become more useful, but also they're gonna take a bit more damage overall. Hey, there's a dead body in the middle there. How'd that happen? I'm starting to wonder if that was the statue doing that. There's still some camera weirdness here. Now, this is a known issue that it's getting a lot of attention internally, apparently. And there are some solutions, but they're not ideal, so it's better to keep it a little bit broken than to release an equally broken solution. So, if that bothers you, then, well, maybe don't play it for a little bit, maybe in the next patch, maybe in another patch. But it is on the drawing board. Alright, we got our mate here. We need to find out what ladies are gonna come and get us. So, like I said, there's a chat room here in the lobby, and there's a chat room in-game too. However, I can't currently see it. Oh shit, that's the wrong way. Here we go, that's what we want to do. And we want to see, can we get killed here? Oh, we can charge. Great, fantastic. Fear check, failure. 98, and she rolled 22. A cool 70 damage. I want a 28 on a retaliation. Okay, effect type, skill, all alone, fear, terror, immunity. You see the buffs and the debuffs on the left. You see the mechanical, skills, or mechanic, not quite sure what that is. Vital strike in his ability I picked up. It does extra damage on crit. I could potentially kill Saskia right now. No, just a normal 50 hit. Just a normal 50 damage, that's alright. Well, let's go for it again. Out of action, beautiful. So that is what rank 10 will do to rank 1. That is what it will happen if you play against the AI. So that's pretty much a summary of the updates. I'm hoping to see a little bit more with the ranged abilities. There are a lot of traps in this map, a lot of traps, I gotta say. So I can shoot from here, great. So Gisela, sorry, 49 right in the head. That's beautiful. And we're gonna put him... He can't do anything, so we're done here. So that's pretty much a great summary of what we're seeing in the game so far. Obviously, there's a whole bunch of balance changes. You're probably not going to notice it internally unless you're playing it a lot. The game is really coming together, though, especially with these the new armor changes that people have been asking for since day dot. We're expecting progression really soon, but this is not something that we're gonna get until it's actually a thing. Right? It's far more important at this stage to I can't charge. It's far more important at this stage to actually have things working and balanced, as opposed to chucking in progression when everything isn't ready. So I'm gonna put him on ambush. Alright. Well, he doesn't want to go on ambush, he's a little bit stuck. So, we'll leave it there. This has been Mordheim City of the Damned content update 18.4.2. It's very nice. It's obviously a little bit buggy, as you can see. There's a lot of stuff to test. There's so much stuff to test. If you're in early access, please roll a couple of rank 10 warbands. Roll a possessed warband because they get mutations and they look fab. when you respec, you get another random mutation. You can just keep rolling those mutations, my friends. So, thank you very much for watching, everybody. If you like the game, go and grab it. It's an early access. The link is in the description below. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you next time.